Karine, why do you think it is that more and more people polled feel like over time President Biden is getting less and less mentally sharp?
Which poll is this?
ABC has President Biden's rating for health since May down 5 points and for mental sharpness down 4 points.
You know, I have to say that's a little confusing for me, because if you look at what this president has done the last 3 years, historical pieces of legislation, right? When it comes to bipartisan infrastructure deal, many presidents before, like your favorite president, had said that...
Who's my favorite president?
Why don't we let the American people guess? But had said, no, let me finish. You asked me a question, I'm going to... No. Let me finish. And you'll guess who I'm talking about, who used to say, Infrastructure Week, which was a punchline, became a joke. And now we are seeing infrastructure decade because of this president. There's the Chips and Science Act, right? There is the Inflation Reduction Act. These are legislation that is going to have a difference for generations to come, right? And so this is something that this president has done. That's pretty sharp for this president to have been able to do that. Let's look at the economy. The economy now, unemployment is under 4%, 14 million jobs created. The economy is in a better place than when it was when he walked in. That's just a fact. That's just the data. And we're seeing consumer sentiment is going up. And we saw just in December how people spent more. And we hadn't seen that in some time. So I think you needed a president like President Biden to get that type of stuff done.
That was White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre destroying Fox News's Peter Doocy. Who's your favorite president, Peter? We all know it's Donald Trump. Do we really need to, beat around the bush here, Deuce? Peter Doocy, for, since Jean-Pierre took over, he's been a thorn in the side of the press sec. And I think she's kind of had enough. We've seen over the past, couple months that she's been pretty tough with Peter, and poor Peter. I mean, when you're a shill for Donald Trump and the Republican Party and you've got to sit in the front row against someone who's clearly intellectually just superior, it's a tough gig. It's a tough gig for the Deuce, because you've got moments like this where you just look like a complete and utter idiot. Now, another idiot who, we talked a little bit about is Donald Trump, the guy, Peter Doocy's favorite president. And Doocy brought up a poll, presidential poll, showing that some people don't think that Joe Biden has the mental capacity to be the president of the United States. And that's because Fox News, Republicans, and Donald Trump have been relentlessly attacking him for years. And Joe Biden has been working. That's the crazy thing. Like, Donald Trump and Joe Biden are head-to-head in polls, and Joe Biden hasn't even been playing. Right? Like, you've got Donald Trump, who has just been campaigning since 2020. Republicans in Congress who hold the majority. They should be doing work, but instead they're launching impeachment investigations, and they're trying to get to the bottom of Hunter Biden's laptop. I mean, insanity. They don't care about the American people. They don't really care about inflation, right? They don't really care about protecting the Constitution and our rights. They're political hacks. And they're weak because, going back to those polls, right? Donald Trump, Joe Biden, we're about a year out, and they might be head to head, but Joe Biden has been working and Donald Trump has been campaigning. So all Joe Biden needs to do is start to pivot into a little bit of campaign mode where he can talk about all of his accomplishments, and he can bring forth American families and Americans who have been helped by student loan forgiveness. That's another thing that Jean-Pierre didn't talk about. Helped by the climate initiatives that Biden has put forth in the Inflation Reduction Act, the infrastructure that has been built under this administration. I mean, that's just the beginning. That's just the tip of the iceberg of the work that they've done to try to help the American people. Donald, Republicans, what have you done? Like, well, wait. You've got nothing. And so that's why I think this line of attack is it's so weak, because Joe Biden is just so much better than Donald Trump. So really, I mean, I think we're in the downfall of the Republican Party here. I don't see how anybody can really compete with Democrats when we're coming out of a pandemic where over 1 million Americans died, largely because of Donald Trump's incompetency. He wants the keys back. And Americans are smarter than that. And we're not going back. Sure, we can reflect, but that doesn't mean that we're going to go back. We're reflecting so that we can make better decisions. And that's clearly what's going to happen. So over the next year, you're going to hear these attacks. Republicans are going to try to portray Joe Biden as a dementia case, but we're going to start to see Joe Biden in campaign mode, and it's not going to go well for Republicans and Trump. Because you got to remember that Trump is also on the decline. I mean, this guy, he has been making gaffe after gaffe. And I keep saying this in video after video. A lot of people think he's like, the old age is kicking in. I don't know if it's the old age. I don't know if it's the stress of the prosecutions that he's facing, or the what's going on in his business and his family. But Donald Trump is not the most mentally fit guy to be president. So we're going to see Joe Biden clean the floor with Donald Trump, the guy who tried to overthrow our democracy and who wants the keys back. And then you've got Joe Biden, the guy who has the keys, who's been driving the sexy sports car and keeping it clean and keeping the engine running, right? And the old owner wants the keys back. And Biden's like, nah, I think we're good. Americans say, nah, we're good. You guys you can have your fun over on Fox News, Peter and Donald. Have your fun. Go, everything sucks. Oh, corruption. Yeah, whatever. Okay. That's great. Cool. Yep. You guys have your little fit in your conservative bubble. Meanwhile, the rest of us are going to be working to not only help like the rest of America, but also you. Also you mega fools in this conservative bubble, you're still getting helped from the Biden administration. So Biden over the next year is going to absolutely wipe the floor with Donald Trump. And I think this moment kind of just is a little indicator of the pushback that we're going to start to see from this White House and from Joe Biden.